So through the first 2 weeks of the Washington Commanders regular season, a lot of people are starting to get concerned about Daron, Payne, and Jonathan Allen. A lot of people have commented and said, Juan, where is 94 and 93? And honestly, all I can say is, I don't know. As Joe Whitt Jr. talked to the media yesterday, and he indirectly called those two out. Let's talk about it.
The way that we live is not for everybody. We're going to run and put our bodies on people in a violent manner.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's
You know what time it is. It's time to come out.
how she move it, shake it on me.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We under the Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with a video where we're going to be talking about the Washington Commanders defensive coordinator Joe Whitt Jr. calling out indirectly Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers. Please help me get there as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. I need to address something right quick. Yesterday, I made a video on Terry McLaurin and Cliff Kingsbury basically taking the blame for why Terry McLaurin hasn't been getting the ball. And reading through some of the comments, some of you guys are too serious in a sense. Some people said, oh, this is the worst video you ever made. I'm unsubscribing. And to me, I said, okay, cool. But it also is like, you understand that it's my opinion, right? You're never going to always agree with my opinion. There are a lot of people that are subscribed to my channel that love my videos that don't agree with me all the time. But they're not going to unsubscribe, or this is your worst video ever, or this is the dumbest video ever. And look, I'm not the type of person to get offended by it. But I just wanted to address something to say it's not that deep. At the end of the day, we're all fans of the same team, and we all want the same result, which is to win. So if you didn't like what I said about Terry McLaurin yesterday, I really don't know how you couldn't, because I didn't say anything wrong. I was a neutral person in this sense, and I looked at it from both sides. So I don't understand how some people took it as if this was the worst video I've ever made, so on and so forth. But look, again, as Cliff Kingsbury said, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And that's okay if you don't like my content or if you think this is the dumbest video ever. I just wanted to put it out there that, guys, just remember, we're all Washington Commanders fans, and we all want the same goal at the end of the day, which is to win. But anyways, let's get to today's video. Joe Whitt Jr., he had a presser yesterday that I feel like a lot of people were anticipated for. A lot of people through the first 2 weeks of the season have not been impressed with Joe Whitt Jr.'s play calling. It seems a little bit similar to a lot of what we dealt with in our past, where it's a lot of soft coverage, lack of pressure, and no really designed blitzes or anything exotic that's going to throw the offense off their game. And Joe Whitt Jr., he talked about how he needs to be better. That's one thing that I love about coaches, about anybody, players. That takes accountability first. You know, I don't really like the people that throw the people, their teammates, their staff under the bus first without checking themselves. And that's something that I could say Washington has done well with this staff and this regime and this coaching and player staff, is that they're going to check on themselves first. So before, you know, anybody calls out anybody else, they're going to say, hey, I got to be better. And that's practically what Joe Whitt Jr. said. Joe Whitt Jr. said, I got to be better with the play calling. Getting off the field on third downs is something that we need to do better at when it comes to, you know, progressing through the season. And I couldn't agree with more. Yeah, granted, he brought up that we had a couple penalties that neglected, you know, extra downs on third down that hindered us from getting off the field. But there were some plays that we just kept getting beat with across the middle of the field. Malik Neighbors countless times on third down, fourth down conversions that we need to get off the field. So he made that apparent point that they spent extra time throughout these days, having that extra day since we don't play till Monday, to work through getting off the field on third downs. And I love to see it. I love a coach that takes accountability. Of course, I want to see action. Of course, I want to, you know, actions are better than words. But if a coach can acknowledge that he needs to be better, if a coach acknowledges that a player needs to be better, that gives me the confidence that it will happen. Will it happen this week versus Cincinnati? Maybe, maybe not. Will it happen next week versus Arizona? Maybe, maybe not. But I know at some point before it's too late in the season, we're going to get this thing correctly and corrected. Joe Whitt Jr. then went on to talk about players that are playing at the level of aggression and speed that we want. He believes a lot of these players are not playing at the level of aggression and speed that they want, or a lot of players aren't playing at the level of speed or aggression that they want, you know. And he brought up a couple of players that were playing at the level of aggression that he wants. He went on to say Frankie Louisville, Bobby Wagner, Quan Martin, and Benjamin St. Juste. Ben Standing says notable that no defensive lineman has been mentioned. Very interesting. Frankie Louisville, Bobby Wagner, two of our linebackers mentioned. That is great, because coming from where we came from with our linebacking core being absolutely garbage, that is very, very good that two of our linebackers are mentioned in us playing the defense how we want to be played. How about Quan Martin? A lot of people are on Quan Martin's back and saying he is the reason that the secondary isn't really that good. It's not Jeremy Chin. And I'll be first to tell you, I haven't directly dove into Jeremy Chin or Quan Martin per se, because I'm focused on the D-line. I'm focused on the linebacker unit when I'm watching the game. But I've been hearing that Jeremy Chin has been the one that has really been messing up. It hasn't really been Quan Martin, but a lot of fans have been hard on Quan Martin's back. But it's good to see that a guy like Joe Whitt Jr. can call out some of his guys that aren't playing good. So Quan Martin, to me, hey, look, is he the best right now? Probably not, but I'm fine with Quan out there. If we need to make a substitution or make an adjustment, maybe put Percy Butler next to Quan or something. Because, again, to me and to what I've been hearing through the streets, it's been Jeremy Chin that's been messing up. And then lastly, Benjamin St. Juste. How about BSJ? Y'all know how much I love BSJ prior to this season. I've always been a BSJ fan. The only thing that I critiqued about Benjamin St. Juste, and I still do to this day, is that if he could turn around his head in time, he would probably be a really good cornerback one in this league. That is no jazz. Right now, he's probably a cornerback two. Right, he's probably a good guy to have alongside a star cornerback, number one. But if he had the ability to turn his head, he would be amazing. That game versus Mike Evans, that touchdown he gave up, he was in pretty good coverage. He literally just did not turn his head. There have been times and times again where Benjamin St. Juste, he's always in the right place. He is, but he just never looks back for the ball. That's why penalty flags come out. That's why touchdowns over his head comes out. He doesn't know where the ball is. But if BSJ turns his head, he is the dog. And you see that every time he played it. I watched him vividly on Sunday. Go watch my vlog if you haven't already. There's an endless Benjamin St. Juste clips in there. He was locking Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors obviously got his catches fair share, but he was battling with Malik Neighbors, and he gave him some bump. Right, he had obviously the big play where he punched out the ball, looking a little Josh Norman-esque right there. BSJ has been playing at a really good level, and again, he is dealing with a growing injury, so I'm knocking on wood that he's okay, and we can use him, and he's healthy because we need him. Okay, we can ill afford to be down Benjamin St. Juste. With us already being down the main force, regardless of how you think of him, right? Regardless of how you think of him, we need him at this point. And I feel like him being out has shown that. Not that we need him because he's so good and oh my God, he is just this stud. We need bodies. We need bodies. So we need Forbes. BSJ playing at an all-time really good level. And I am excited and hoping that he can continue to play this well with the big task this week against Jamar Chase. But again, this video is about Daron, Payne, and Jonathan Allen. Notice how they were not mentioned. And for me, that is a concern. A guy that you pay all of this money to, two guys that you pay all of this money to, two guys that are captains on this team in recent history, a guy that constantly gives you pregame speeches, supposed to motivate you to go out there and play well. Not mentioned in the aggressiveness that is supposed to be played. 4 players he mentioned out of the whole defense that are playing the way they need to be playing. None of our 2 dogs in the middle are mentioned. I think that speaks volumes of how they feel about him. And he brought up the fact, remember, this is what the last regime said. This is what Warren Sapp tried to tell Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, and Chase Young. This is what he tried to tell these guys. Rush as a unit. Joe Whitt Jr. said, we're not rushing as a unit. So, that goes back to the last regime when we had Chase Young and Montez Sweat. When we immediately heard them say we need to rush as a unit, we would always think that they're talking about the pass rushers. Granted, Chase Young hasn't done much in New Orleans. Montez Sweat has done pretty good damage in Chicago, though. Who was really the issue? That makes me think. Who was really the issue? Because if we're in a whole new regime and we're still faced with some of the same similarities as the last regime, who was really the problem? Now, I'm not telling you Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen are scrubs. Not at all. I want to reiterate that for the people that are hard of hearing. Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen are not scrubs. I still want them on this roster at this point. We need them. We're not better without them, okay? They're good. What they just have to do is rush together. Rush as one. Stop being selfish. That is not, football's not a game where it's just you. It's us. Nah, it's us. It's a team of us. Work together. The goal together is to get the quarterback to the ground. Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Cleveland Farrell, Dorrance Armstrong. We need to rush as one. Jonathan Allen's a guy that a lot of people have been wanting to ship out of town for some years now. And at this point, given last year where he voiced that, yeah, I thought about being traded before. Not that he requested a trade, but he thought about being traded before. And lack of production, maybe it is time to move him from Jonathan Allen. I would rather keep Daron Payne because I know Daron Payne can get after the quarterback. He's shown that 2 years ago. So I know it's still in there somewhere. Jonathan Allen has never been one to get after the quarterback on a consistent basis. So maybe you ship off one of these guys at the trade deadline. I'm not sure if you're in a position where you can do that and you're feeling like, okay, this is the best value we can get from at this time. We're trying to upgrade positions elsewhere. And let's say we're in a position to potentially make the playoffs at that time. Maybe you ship off Jonathan Allen. I want Daron Payne, though, if I had a choice. But yeah, man, that's all I really got to say. Where's Daron Payne? Where's Jonathan Allen? They were getting double teamed a lot last week. But I'm hoping with moving forward, they, as Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, Joe Whitt Jr., they can come together to help design ways to single up these defensive tackles, find ways to get them into the backfield. Just be creative, whether that's finding new ways of moving Daron Payne outside at the end position, right next to the edge rusher, whatever. Be creative if you know that they're going to double team your two dogs in the middle. This isn't all on Daron. This isn't all on John. This is on the whole coaching staff on the defensive side of the ball. But they do take a full big blame of this because they are the ones that actually has to go out there and play. So I'm hoping moving forward these guys can be better. I'm hoping they take this kind of as a call out and they're better Monday night and moving forward. But there you have it, man. Make sure you guys use my promo code JuanGotti on SeatGeek to get $20 off your first purchase. I'm telling you, it's going to come in clutch this season. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you haven't reached that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. You have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy. Peace.